Honestly did not know I'd be having to address this, like, at all in the Power Level Warrior community. But the time has come, and it's time I address something that has happened recently. And it honestly upsets me to a very certain degree. Now, before I start this, I want to let you guys know that for the most part, this is just my opinion. And this is just my ground rules. If you have your own opinions or your own statements, maybe I'll change my mind about how I feel about this and change my quote unquote rules about this. Because this is just something that I'm very gray at right now. But at the same time, I feel like if I don't say something about it, it'll just continue to happen. So this video is mostly to just address this issue and talk about, like I said, my ground rules for it. So let's go over the ground rules right now. So basically, first of all, actually, I should address what's going on. So over a year ago, before actually this game came out, I drew an image of Suno for promotional artwork. For me, when I drew it, I felt like it was promotional artwork. I shared it on Instagram, I shared it on Facebook. Hell, I think I even shared it on Google Plus thing, which is getting taken down tomorrow or the next day, I forgot. Anyway, so I shared this photo, and yesterday, I can't believe I didn't catch this right away, but someone shared an image of a traced slash re-edited version of that drawing. Now you may say, oh, what's so bad about that, Based Brawler? Well, if you guys saw the community post I posted earlier, it looks almost exactly the same. Same artwork, same style, same texture, same everything. You could just tell that it was traced off of my original image. And like I said before, I did not expect our community to get to this point this early because this game isn't really that popular right now. And I was expecting myself to have 10,000 subscribers before something like this happened. But it happened earlier, which, again, in my opinion, is very disappointing. And I really don't think this should be happening. And I'm not just concerned for my artwork and all that. I'm concerned for other people and what they produce. And the stuff that they come out with. This isn't just for my artwork alone, but this is how I feel about anyone who this happens to. And yes, you could argue, oh, you should have talked about this earlier because this has been happening for a long time. But at the same time, I wasn't really too concerned about it because this is a small community. And other people are already talking about those communities, bigger, better people are talking about those. But I'm not saying that I'm the most popular TF Power Level Warrior YouTuber, but in my opinion, I feel like I am the biggest fan out there for this game. Yes, Werewolf is a pretty big fan for this game too, but I just feel like I have a lot more, what's the word, passion for it, in my opinion. Now, I'm not going to say that he doesn't have a passion for this game. I just feel like, because I have a manga coming out and all that, that I feel like I need to address this. Because it's not just going to affect me, it's going to affect other people too. So, the issue here, like, okay, let me just lay down the ground rules. I don't want this video to be longer than the other one that I made before. And let's just get into, so, okay. So first of all, can you guys trace my artwork? Yes. And just to make things brief, I'm not going to get into big detail on it. If you want to know more about it, please feel free to ask in the comments. But I'm not going to, what's the word? I'm not going to ding you or whatever on tracing. You can trace. Sorry. I am going to ding you on tracing if you don't mention my name anywhere at all. Like 0% mention of my original artwork. However, you don't have to link my original artwork onto the image that you trace it off of. You don't have to link it at all. All you have to do is mention my name and say where you got your inspiration from. That's it. Even if you just, like this person did, just trace the image and fix the hands and edited the hands and all that. Even at that point, as long as you just mention my name and say, oh, I took this from Base Brawler, then that's fine. I don't care. So, in more specific detail, let's say you were to ask, but what if I draw something similar? What if I just take inspiration from your drawing? Or not inspiration. What if I just take the same stature or pose or... what's it called? I take the same... like, you redraw it, but you base your drawing off of my original image. I don't give a shit. If the drawing looks so different enough, like it's a different character, you know, they're doing something else, they're in a different background, I don't give a shit entirely. If it's a different background, and it's like the same pose, and you redrew it, like you didn't trace it, you redrew it, I don't give a shit. That's fine. And finally, I'm going to use the same example I used in the other video that I made, that again I deleted. Let's say you were to take the same concept, the same theme, the same idea. What I mean by this is, like I said, I'll give you an example. Let's say I were to draw Rice and Riceette, you know, at their wedding. You know, Rice in a tuxedo, Riceette in a wedding dress. And you were to draw the same thing, but with a different pose. The characters are in a different position. The characters are, like, even if you were to add dialogue, they even say stuff. The characters had a different point of view, I guess. Like, let's say I drew them straight in the front, and you drew them, like, at an angled view or something. That's also perfectly fine, and I don't give a shit. If it's the same general idea, I don't give a shit. However, if you, like I said, were to straight up just trace over the character and change a few things, and say you drew the whole thing by yourself, then I'm going to be a little bit upset. Because that, in my opinion, is just wrong. And I don't think that should be happening in any community, not just Power Level Warrior one. And like I said before, oh, Base Brawler, why didn't you address this earlier? You're just addressing it because it happened to you now. Well, like I said, I didn't think it would have to come to this. Even if it were someone else's artwork that I noticed, like someone else from our community, like DGA Pro or Envy, even if it were one of their art pieces and this happened, I still would get upset. This is stupid. This is childish. But the thing is I feel like my personal ground rules on this are very lenient. Most people who in other communities like Dragon Ball, Naruto, etc., if you were to even add inspiration from their drawings, like I said, you get the same, you know, pose and everything, except you just redraw it and you have a different background. Even if you just simply did that, they would probably report you or do something worse. I'm saying that I completely entirely, if you just drew the same pose and everything, you just redrew it yourself, and you had a different background and different colors, I wouldn't give a shit. But if you're gonna take one part of it and then edit some stuff out, like the hands, and not credit me because I did most of the work for you, I think that's bullshit. I don't think that should be happening in this community or any other. And I just think it's wrong. Now, again, you could argue, oh, but Base Brawler, you don't put Bullit's name in your mangas. Well, the thing about that is not only did Bullet give me permission to draw the mangas, just like I'm giving you guys permission to redraw my artwork, except... And that's the other thing, is I'm not copying Bullet's manga because he doesn't have a manga. I'm making my own artwork based off of his designs. Which again, like I said, you can create your artwork based off of my designs as well. As long as you trace it, as long as you redraw it yourself, and you don't have me do half the work for you. More than half the work. Even if it's 49%, even if you're doing 49%, even if I'm doing 49% of the work, you do 51% of the work. I don't give a shit. But this person only did less than 10% of the work I did on the drawing, and they're not even going to credit me. That's what pisses me off. And it's not really that big of a deal to me. I know it may seem like I'm making it a big deal. I'm just addressing it. If it were a big deal, I'm the moderator of the Facebook group. If it were a big deal to me, I probably would have banned this person. I probably would have, banned this person, kicked him from the server. Am I going to do that? No, I'm not going to do that. I am just simply addressing this matter. And if you want to continue to steal artwork, that's totally fine with me. But I'm just going to address it again. And you're going to look like a complete idiot when I do it again. Especially if it's the same person. Now, I'm not going to expose this person or tell you who it is. And even if they do it again, I'm not going to tell you who it is. Because that's messed up, in my opinion. But I feel like you guys can figure it out yourselves. And it's just dumb. It really is. And I don't know why people have to do this, but they do it anyway, so whatever. But anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Speaking of drawings, if you guys would like to share some of your drawings, maybe on a certain website, DeviantArt, stuff like that, whatever, feel free to post it in a link in the comment section below. I'm not going to... Don't have me critique your art. I critique my own art, and that's about it. That's as far as I go. The only time I'll critique your art is if I feel like there's one thing that you could work on. But aside from that, I'm not going to say like, oh, your drawing is shit. It's not as good as mine. Haha. No, it's just... like, even Bullet. Bullet never said that my artwork was terrible. He just gave me insight as to what I could work on. And that's perfectly fine. But straight up just redrawing certain parts of a drawing someone else already made is just foolish. And it's disrespectful. So I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that may be. Have a nice day. And the manga should be out on April Fool's Day. See ya.